Hey there folks and friends, Connecting Dots here. It's Friday, November the 9th. This is your nuclear update as well as your fracking, radon gas, radium. Are they dangerous? What's the healthiest state to live in? And what's your odds of dying of cancer? Well, they've already got it figured out depending what state you live in. But that'll be at the end of the video. I'm starting off here with fresh off the press here from CNN. They're reporting here November the 9th. Cracks at a South Korean nuclear plant raise fresh safety concerns. I'm not going to read the entire story here, folks. Everything you're going to see in this video is all linked down below where it says show more. I'm going to get to the gist of it here. It says here that tiny cracks have been found in tunnels at a nuclear plant in South Korea, increasing concerns about nuclear safety in the country following a recent scandal involving the use of unverified parts. Boy, oh boy, this is just one heck of a story here. Unbelievable. I'm not going to read the entire thing. It says here, KHNP said it detected microscopic cracks in 6 control rods at Unit 3 of its Wangwang nuclear plant in southwest of the country. Sorry about my South Korean, it's not the hottest. I'll say, goes on to say here, control rods are used to regulate the speed of nuclear reactions taking place inside reactors. So I'm assuming it's serious. No, but no, they go on to say the cracks are not serious. There is no risk of radiation leakage. Yeah, okay. It's so not serious that they discovered the problem while the reactor was switched off for a 36-day regular maintenance period, but it'll now stay out of service for a further 47 days as inspectors seek to determine the cause of the cracks. Okay, so as it mentioned here, 2 South Korean nuclear reactors shut down. This story here all started here on November 4th when the South Korean government had announced that it discovered unproven parts were being used in their nuclear plants. Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I dug a little further here. It says here, the minister said the parts are mostly legitimate products that have no problem to be used in other industrial sectors. However, the parts need to be proven to be safe for use in nuclear power plants, I'd say, and thus require quality and safety warranties from one of 12 international organizations that have been designated by Seoul. This is where it gets juicy. The 8 suppliers faked 60 warranties for 234 parts since 2003, supplying over 7,682 items worth $750,000 US. But hold on, it gets worse than that. Of the total, 5,233 parts have actually been used in 5 of the country's 23 nuclear reactors, while nearly 99% of them were used in the 2 reactors at the Wangwang nuclear plant. That's the same one here that's suffering the problems, folks. I hope it's just a coincidence, but it seems to me there's a little bit more to the story. Okay, moving along here. Fukushima, any news here? Just reported that Fukushima had been hit on November the 8th with a 5.5 earthquake, and the aftershocks follow exactly the same locations minutes later. Now, fresh off the press here from November the 9th, they're announcing here again 7 more earthquakes of a magnitude 4 or higher at exactly the same location. Not good, not good. And you're probably wondering, well, what does it matter? Yeah, it does matter, because I'm not sure if you remember, but TEPCO was working to remove that steel beam that had fallen into reactor number 3. So every little shake is not good news. Here, I got a little bit of closer footage here. There's that beam that had fallen right into reactor number 3 pool. I'll leave a link down below here if you want to go take a look at it. They put a little drawing here so you can see the spent fuel storage rack with the beam sitting right on top of it. And this is supposed to be the crane, I guess. They're trying. It's taken them an awful long time to get this job done, I must admit. They've been at this for a while now. Okay, moving along here. The story, the video, this is where it's all about here. November the 9th, fracking for gas, not just a toxic chemical risk. Boy, oh boy. Unbelievable, folks, here. You know, a lot of people here, I've been trolled on the internet from all kinds of folks. I mean, very well-known YouTubers. I am Godard, aka Godard's Journal, Joel B79. These are known YouTubers that have followed me onto forums, one specifically now where I've been banned for posting too much truth. Unbelievable. That's another video, though. But regardless, the point is that these radiation trolls are now trying, they've always tried, I should say, they've stopped here since I've been banned, obviously, but they were always trying to diminish the facts of radon gas and anything else that occurs naturally. To them, if it's natural, well, then you can naturally absorb it and there's nothing to be worried about. Well, this video is going to bust a hole in that theory. Okay, so here it goes on to say here that fracking for gas not only releases toxic chemicals, but can contaminate drinking and groundwater, and also releases substantial quantities of radioactive poison from the ground that will remain hot and deadly for thousands of years. Okay, the report says that It's radioactive materials in the shale, including radium-226, with a half-life of 1,600 years. A half-life is how long it takes for radioactive substances to lose half of its radiation. It is multiplied between 10 and 20, and I suggest 20, to determine the hazardous lifetime of a radioactive material, how long it takes for it to lose its radioactivity. Thus, radium-226 remains radioactive for between 16,000 and 32,000 years. I'm going to read a little bit more before I progress on here because I got a lot of stuff. Horizontal hydrofracking for natural gas in the Marcellus Shale region of New York State has a potential to result in the production of large-scale amounts of waste materials containing radium-226 and radium-228 in both solids and liquid mediums. Now, if you're still wondering, is there a concern here? I went and pulled this up here. This is from the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, and there's your federal regulatory limit right there. It tells you how much 228 and 226 of radium you're supposed to have. It's 5 picocuries per liter. And if you're still wondering, is it dangerous? Well, they said right here, critical effects. Radium-226 and radium-226 and 228 emit alpha radiation. All alpha radiation is considered to have the potential to cause cancer as a result of its interaction with genetic material. A number of human epidemiological studies indicate increasing risk of various types of cancer associated with increasing doses of ionizing radiation. The cancers produced by radiation cover the full range of carcinomas and sarcomas. Every form of cancer has been shown to be induced by radiation. Hold on, it just gets better than that, because I know a lot of folks here, they have a hard time sucking up this whole radium thing. Sorry, but I've been trolled too much. It's time I deal with this. Okay, so here, radium emits several kinds of radiation, in particular alpha and gamma radiation. Alpha radiation is only concerned if radium is taken into the body through inhalation or ingestion. Gamma radiation or rays can expose individuals even at a distance. As a result, radium on the ground, for example, can expose individuals externally to gamma rays or be inhaled or ingested with contaminated food or water. The greatest risk from radium in the environment, however, is actually its decay product, radon. Now, I want to touch on one more thing here before I get into the radon. The food and water. I found this study here, and it's from California in 2006, and on page 15 it has a little table here, and it's quite interesting. The estimates of total dietary intake picocurie per diet of radium-226 and 228. And oddly enough, New York, out of the cities, the 5 cities that were tested there, New York had the highest levels. There's the totals on the bottom here. So, and here's the different types of food. So if you folks want to take a look at this, it's quite interesting. But I want to get into the radon, because this is where I've really I have a hard time here. Every time anyone pulls out a rain sample, it's always radon gas, and therefore we have no reason to worry about it. It's only radon. Radon's all right. Yeah, BS, folks. Okay, I've had enough here with these radiation trolls. Enough. I am Godard, Joel79, Shane777. Bring it on, guys. Enough of this crap here. You prove to me radon gas is safe, and I'll prove to you radon gas is dangerous. And it all starts right here, folks. This video here, Health Canada here. I'm going to pull out. Hold on a second as I scroll down here. Scroll down, and I've got it right here. Okay. Alpha emitters and beta emitters differ in magnitude of their biological effects. Alpha particles interact very strongly with human tissue through a transfer of energy. Beta particles interact less strongly than alpha particles, which allows them to travel farther through tissue before their energy is transferred. The difference between alpha and beta particles effects is the concentration of tissue damage. Alpha particles may damage many molecules over a short distance, whereas beta particles may damage molecules spread over a greater distance. The extent of damage depends upon the energy emitted by individual alpha or beta particle species. Gamma radiation is a form of electromagnetic radiation or light emissions at a frequency resulting from subatomic particle interactions such as radioactive decay. Gamma radiation is generally considered as light having the highest frequency and energy as well as the shortest wavelength within the light spectrum. As a result of its high energy content, gamma radiation is able to cause serious damage when absorbed by living cells. So this is what I've had a real hard time with a lot of folks here. Moving along here, this is again from Health Canada. It's all linked down below here. Most radon inhale is exhaled and remains in the lungs for only a short period of time. The radon daughter, progeny here 218, is very reactive and electrostatically attracted to tiny particles in air. These particulates are inhaled and deposited in the lung. Radon's daughters then decay, subsequently releasing damaging alpha and beta particles. Therefore, it is the radon progeny, not radon itself, that actually causes damage to the bronchial epithelium because of only the progeny remain in the lungs long enough to decay significantly. Okay? Radon is classified as a human carcinogenic. Enough with the BS, folks. I've had enough here of all this stuff coming out here and trolling me, trying to say that radon gas is not dangerous. Eat it up, guys. Eat it up. Okay, here I'm going to finish up here with the healthiest U.S. states ranked. Where do you live? The link's down below here. Go click on it. Go read it yourself. And also, this is interesting here, health statistics. The cancer death rate per 100,000 by state. Depending on where you live, it's all linked down below. You can hit the space bar if you want to pause this. I'm going to scroll them slowly. But you'll notice that I was concentrating on New York there, showing how they had the highest food. They ranked 41 of all of the states, with the highest being DC. Okay, another thing. Agenda 21, part of the United Nations. A lot of folks don't believe in that stuff. Well, first time ever here, right after the elections, we now have an ad running on satellite television, just played last night. Someone caught it, or should say caught the tail end of it, and well, here it is, folks. Agenda 21, up front, in your face.
Cannot handle the sheer number of humans who live here. Something has to give, and I believe that it's up to us who have lived a good life to make sure that our children will have the opportunity to live good lives too. I have lived a good life.
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 What do you think? What do they want them to do? They've lived a good life. Sounds to me like they want them to commit suicide. Agenda 21, folks, they want to get rid of 85 to 95% of the world's population. Look it up. It's all there.